We discussed a bit about components, which is the core, what is AEM, what is enterprise level CMS, which is AEM, what is CMS. We discussed about the naming convention of the jars. We discussed about how you can create the different author and publisher instance by using the same jar, just updating the name of that jar. So that's the only thing that we need. And using that, you can update, you can create an author instance or a publisher instance by just giving a valid name to your jar and plus a valid port to your jar. So just by giving the name as author and minus p and the port number, using this, I said that okay, my author will run on the port 4502 and the publisher will run on the port 4503. So that day we also created our publisher instance by starting it. I didn't check if my instance is all started. I can do it now. Let me just close it over here. Okay.
Just one question. So last session you were mentioned that okay, what does that mean, like enterprise level? So you said that we can hold the website with an AEM server, right?
Yes.
So just one question, like now in our company, so the whole AEM thing, it's for staging, it's on AWS, but then for production, it's on like on-premise server. So it was a bit confusing. Like, what do you mean, like by AEM server?
So see, okay. So see, when I am running this website, see, it's a browser where you can see that I logged in with the localhost 4502.
Yes.
Ultimately, where the code ultimately see, in case if you're running any website, anything that opens using a browser, to run that thing or to run that pages or to run that website, you need a server.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that server which is executing the jars or the war files behind this is AEM. But where exactly is the space getting occupied? Like, see, when I am creating this CRX, when this CRX Quickstart folder gets created, this is occupying some space. Where, how is it getting the space? This space is being taken by my Windows. So similar is the case with AWS. AWS only provides you with the space where you can create your AEM instance, where the CX folder will be created. But so that AWS is only providing you space with a server where you have the space. But which server or which web server actually is responsible for running your AEM? That is the AEM server. So when you open this within that AWS server, when you open this, AWS is only providing you the space to host your instance. But by what means is your website running is using the AEM server.
Got it.
Okay. So AEM is a web server which is helping running the application, but where the space is occupied is AWS. Now, you said on-prem. So AWS is cloud. So AWS is like your host is a cloud where your website is hosted.
Yeah.
So that is like AWS is where you, and on-prem is like maybe on your own premises, maybe within your company, they may have some servers where they have taken some servers, and there also they may have hosted the website. So
like local location, right?
Exactly. Local location. Within the company, they may have some server room where they have a lot of servers and they have hosted the website over there. Okay.
So there also it's like only a holder for the AEM like instances. But then again, when it's running, it's on AEM server actually.
Exactly.
Got it. Okay, thanks.
Okay. So see, we have our publisher server also up and running 403, and we also have our author server, that is 4502.
Okay.
So publisher server is running on the port 4503 and author is running on the port 4502. Okay.
Okay.
Now we have our both our servers running. That is the author and the publisher. And last time we also discussed how your author and publisher server works. Like your author server sits behind the firewall and your publisher is where the end user comes and hits the website. Okay. Now, see, if I go inside the sites, you have so many websites or so many pages created for different websites. Like if I go inside the V retail, so these are the dummy websites that are already provided within AEM for reference purpose. So AEM provides you with some dummy website that you can take the reference to build your own websites. Okay. So that is for your reference. Okay.
Okay.
Now, if I open any page of this website, like if I open this men's, let me just click over here and edit this. So the page, one of the page of this website get opened. So last time we discussed any new page that has to be created. It's not that you have to make a change in the code. What you can do is you can directly easily create a page. Like consider we have this hierarchy where I open the men page, like here the men page is created. Now, if you wanted to create a new page below men, so what you will do is just click over here, you will click on create and you have to create a page. So create page and then it will ask you for the template. So we discussed like we have PowerPoints, we have templates. So in the same way, we have templates over here. So we have to select a template. Of course, a template has to be selected to create a page in AEM. Without a template, you cannot create a page. So I will say, okay, and new men's page. Okay, and that's the name that I gave to the page. And here I have my page up and available below the men's hierarchy. So here, see the thing is that you do not have to write an HTML for this page. Like in the legacy applications, you have to create a code. You have to write in code base to create a new page. So that's not the case. At runtime on fly, it can be created and it is up and running. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if I open the same page, like let me open this page on my publisher, which is running on the port 4503. So if I open it over here, the page should be available because it's a dummy website page. So it should be, this page should be available. Let me just, let's open this. I think it's opening parallelly. Let me also do one thing. Let me also open this page. This page I just created on the author instance. And let's try to open this page on our publisher as well. But of course, we know that this page we have just created on the author instance. So that is why it won't be available there on publisher instance. Okay.
Yes.
So just for like a page not found or error message, that's what we wanted to get over here. And our this page should be available because it's a dummy website page. So it should be available. But yeah. Okay. I think it's taking a lot of time. Okay. See, this is the problem that if you start two instances on the same machine, it takes a lot of days. So that's why, yeah. Okay. Till then, we can discuss about this page, some basic things. So here, like in the last time we discussed about the Amazon website, in the same way, like here we have different components placed on this page. So a page in AEM is basically built using collection of components. So in a page, you just have to see what all the look and feel of that page and how you can achieve that look and feel of that part of the page by using which component you can achieve that. So that's the thing. So you have to see, like here we have this carousel component. Above that we have this navigation component. Then you have this this is a product grid component. Above that you have simple title component. So these are all the components that are being used on this page, and ultimately the page is created by using these many these many components are being used to create this page. If you want to add any new component, here you will get the responsive grid, or we also call it as the container component. So
Yeah.
either it is, so you can see, if I hover over here, you can see the name is layout container. So these are the components. This is also a component in AEM which can hold other, or where you can drop other components. Okay. So this component is either it can be a responsive grid. We call it a responsive grid component, or it is a layout container component, which are basically container component because they can contain other component in it.
Okay.
Here, okay, so here our pages are available on 4503. You can see this men's page is open, and of course we know that this page won't open because this page is not available. So that is why we got 404 error message. Okay, and here you can see on publisher instance, you can see it's exactly like a live website. Oh, it's not exactly, but yes, it is a live website, because here we can edit anything. We can, if you want to drop any new component, or consider if you want to update this text. So see how easy it is. So what is this? This is some title. Now consider CM wants to update the text within this title. So it's featured product. Let's say it was new featured product, and authors want just to update this text. Now they do not have to make changes in their code. It's just that they will update the text in the component. So see, this is the dialog of a component. Like component is a core. Component has three main things. So one is, when I talk about components, so for component we need to create a dialog plus some HTML plus some Java. So Java is achieved by using Sling models. Plus there are other lot of things, but those we will discuss as part of requirement. But these are, of course, these are the three minimum things, or these are the three least required things which we need to have as part of our creation of the component. Okay. So see, this is the dialog. This dialog of the component. So this dialog, every component would have a dialog which will allow some inputs, or which will take some input from the author. And on the basis of those inputs from the author, the component will show it on the end website. So here I just updated the text, and you would see the text has been updated on the author instance. Now it's updated on the author instance, but it's still not available on our publisher instance. So what we have to do is, we have to do this process. So on author we update it, but still the content has to be pushed to our publisher instances. It doesn't matter how many publisher instances are there, but it should be pushed to all. So of course it will be pushed to this publisher, it should be pushed to this publisher, or in case if we have some other publisher as well, so the content should be pushed to this publisher as well. Because the request from end user will land on dispatcher, and dispatcher can load balance, and it can send the request to any of the publisher. Okay. So of course all the publishers should be in sync, should have all the latest content, so that they can serve the latest content, or the latest updated content to the end user. Okay. Now we have this text updated on the author. How we will make it available on the publisher is through publishing it or replicating it. How this step is carried out is, if you go to these three dots, and here you have the publish page option. Also, if not from here, like the place from where we created the pages, if you select the page over here, here also you will get this quick publish option. So this publish, replication, activation, these three terms are used interchangeably in AEM. Either we call it publish page, or activate page, or replicate page. These three things are all same. Okay. So we have these two ways. One is that you can go inside the page, you can click on these three lines, and there you have the publish page option. So once we will click this, it will ask for some other related things on this page. Like it is saying, since these images are also associated with this page and there are some other policies which we will discuss later are also associated with this page. Do you want to activate or replicate or migrate or anything that you want to transfer all these or just the page? I said, I do not want all this, just the page is what I wanted to replicate, because if I click on all this, then of course it will create another load or burden on the server. So just simple, I said only only activate this page. And now, yeah.
Sorry, just one question. So when we publish, how it would know how many publishers we have set?
Exactly. That's a good question, and I will come on that thing.
Okay, sorry.
How many publishers are there? And the other important thing is, how does AEM gets to know that even if I have one publisher, then the publisher is running on the port 4503 and on the same server. How does my author gets to know this thing? I will tell you this in a minute. Till then, let's see. Let me just refresh this and we will see that the page has been if our changes are reflected on the end website or not. So yeah, you can see the changes are available over here. You can see I updated the text with new, like over here I changed the text, added the text new featured product. Earlier it was just featured product. So now it is reflecting on the end website as well. Okay.
Yeah.
In the same way, like if you wanted to update any text over here, like always comfortable. So if you wanted to update it, just let me just update the text, always comfortable. Yeah. Okay. So it's not there. If I will go, it's still always comfortable. Now if I will go and let's take this way. So I will select this over here and will select the quick publish and publish page. So here the good thing is, if you go through this panel, that is the sites panel. This panel is called as the sites panel. So if you go through this way, then it won't ask you for whether you want to activate all the related things as well. Finally, let me refresh my page, and I hope it should have been done. Yeah, you can see the updated text started coming over here. So this is replication. How in AEM we replicate or migrate our content from author instance to publisher instance. Okay, now let's go to the important thing of how does AEM gets to know from 4502 port is that our publishers are running on 4503 and how many publishers are there and whether all the publishers are running on the same server, and of course it cannot be possible that they can be running on the same port, that is 4503. So of course there should be some configuration. Okay, that is defining how many publishers are there and on which port are they running. So how we will get to know is you have to go to the home, that is the AEM start, and there if you will go to this hammer icon. So we will discuss about all these things, like important things over here. Like as of now, we discuss about the sites where we create our website pages, but we will discuss about this experience fragment assets, some more things. These are personalization, commerce, communities. These are all advanced. We won't cover this. As similar is the case with these, like workflows, we will cover quite a lot of topics. But yes, going forward by the way we go and we cover each and every topic, we will touch base upon all these links. Okay. So now if you will go to this hammer icon and you will see there is a just a minute. Yeah, there's a deployment. So inside the deployment, you will see there is a replication this link. So if you will go inside this replication link, here is the story of how this transfer or the migration is happening. So in AEM, what exactly is the thing is that AEM makes the use of agents. Like if you have to travel from one country to another, you have to plan your trip. So what you do is you delegate that all that task to the agents. They are travel agents. In the same way, we have agents in AEM as well, and those of course are not called as travel agents, but here these are our AEM agents, which are responsible for packaging the content on the author instance and then migrating those packages to our publisher instance. Now, how would AEM get to know that okay, these are all the how would your agent would get to know that okay, these are all the publisher instance and these the agent has are being the publisher instance are these many in number and they are running on these ports, so we have to define the configuration for the agents. So the agents are configured over here. So what we did is we go inside the deployments and the replication and we landed on this screen replication. Okay, so here we have this agents on author. Because why we are going into this link and why not over here? Because our agents, which agents are we currently using is the agents on author, because we are migrating the content from author to publisher. So author agents are being used, which will package the content on author and will migrate the content to publisher. In case if you have some maybe like blogging website where the content from publisher has to be transferred to author, means reverse replication, it means RR reverse replication. In that case, the agent will sit on our publisher instances. Okay. In that case, the agents will be configured over here, agents on publish. Okay. As of now, since our agents, which will be responsible for transferring the content from authors to publishers, so agents will, my agent, which will migrate the content, will sit over here, agents on author. So I went inside this agent on author, and here I will see there are a lot of agents already existing over here. You can see default agent, dispatcher, flush, reverse application. Just ignore all these for now, and we will focus only on the default agent. So see, this default agent is the one which will transfer or which will be migrating your content from the author instance to your publisher. So here, if I click on this, you can see the agent is in enable state and it is replicating to localhost 4503. So if you wanted to see the configuration for this agent, you will just go and edit this. And here you will see that the agent is transferring the content on localhost 4503. Okay, and these are the credentials. Admin are the agent credentials which are being used to package the content to and then to transfer the content on publisher. In case if you want to use some other user, then that user needs to be available on author instance as well and the publisher instance as well. I will tell you about the users later, but as of now, just remember that the agent should have the sufficient privileges that they can create packages and then they can write or modify something on the publisher instance. Because see, ultimately, some writing or some modification operation will be performed on the publisher. Okay. Yeah. So the user we will be using as part of our agent should have the sufficient privileges. We will discuss about these privileges when we will go to the this user creation section.
So it will understand that because when I'm logged in actually, right? So that user in the user admin section would have had the permission, right?
Yes.
In order to publish. Okay. All right.
Exactly. So here, as of now, you can see it's the correct host and the correct port. Let's say if I accidentally update it to 4504, I accidentally said that okay, my publisher instance sits on 450, and I said okay. And here, what another good thing is that you can also check the connection, like test connection. So if I will do a test connection, you will see it should fail because at 4503 there is no publisher running. So connection failed. And also, if I now activate this page, let me go, okay, this way, and activate page, that is publish page. Okay, if I publish page, and now if I go over here, my agent, which is responsible for transferring the content, here you can see it. If I refresh it, it should tell us that this agent is blocked and there is a queue for it. So you can see the agent is being blocked, and it is because the queue is blocked because this agent is not able to connect to our publisher instance. So you can see I tried replicating this page, but this page is blocked because my agent is not able to work because my agent is not able to connect on the port 4504.
Okay.
So you can edit this and again correct this to 4503 and say okay. And just close it. And just click on this force retry. Yeah, you can see I did force retry and the page got activated. Okay.
Okay.
So this is the default agent that is already available, which by default actually coincidentally or not coincidentally, whatever you can say, it replicates the content on the port 4503. That is the same port on which we started our publisher instance. Okay. Now the question arises of, let me go back to the replication. Yeah. Okay. So now the question arises. Now the second question arises. That is, what if we have multiple publisher instances? The one scenario that we just discussed, we can have multiple publish 1, publish 2, and there can be another publisher 3. And of course, let's consider this is running on port 4503, this is 4504, and this is 4505. Of course, all cannot be run, all publishers cannot run on the same server and same port. That cannot be possible. So same server is good, but of course not same ports. So what we have to do is we have to create that many number of agents. That many we have our publisher instance. So if we have 3 publisher instances, so we have to create 3 default agents. One which will be migrating the content to 4503, other which will be migrating to content 4504, and the third one to 4505. So it cannot be, it is not possible that with a single agent you can migrate the content to multiple publishers. Here the migration has to be carried out separately, here separately, and separately over here by using 3 agents. This is the first agent, this is the second agent, and this is of course my third agent. Okay. Got any questions, any queries till now?
So we will define the agents here by ourselves, or?
Yes. So it's a small configuration or a small like change in the tool or configuration change that we have to do, and of how you will create the agents. So see, one way is I hope you know about the CRXD screen. Do you know? Yeah. Yeah. So you can go to the CRXD screen. Like, let me, okay, see where does our agent sits in? At this path, agents.author.
Yeah, under etc, right?
Under etc. So if you know etc hierarchy, you can open the etc hierarchy through misc-admin. In case if you don't know, so this is something like misc-admin. If you open misc-admin, miscadmin, that way it will take you to the whole etc hierarchy. So if you see all the folders, like let me also open the CRXD so to match it. Okay. Both the things I opened parallelly. So Remember this misc admin shows us all the etc hierarchy. So now if I go to my crxde, and here let me go inside, let me just close the etc. So here you can see the first folder below etc is blueprint. Then we have the client context, then client lips. So here you will see all the same folders over here as well. Let me just try to find the exact one. What was that? Like we have the cloud services, cloud settings. So here we have the cloud settings, cloud context, then we have the commerce. So here also we have the commerce. Here we have the DAM, content sync. All these things should be here, which are configurable. So all the configurable thing would be here. Also, our replication is also over here. You can see the replication. The replication is over here, and our agent was on agent on author. And here you have your default agent. Just copy it and paste it, and you can give it a name, publish one, and copy it. And here you have your new publisher created. Here you can see. Sorry, let me just again go back. I clicked it. Maybe I clicked it here too fast. Yeah. So our publisher one was ready. I double clicked it and it took me over here. And now I can do edit and update its port to a different port, that is 450.
Another publisher. Okay.
Port, and just save it. Okay.
Yeah.
Now if I will activate this page, any of the page that I will activate, the request will go to both the agents. If I activate this page, you will see this agent should get blocked because at 4504 there is nothing that exists.
He doesn't find that port.
Exactly, and now you can see it is blocked. Okay. Yeah. So that's how you will create in separate publisher. Question is, if we have that many publisher, do we have to create that many agents? Answer is yes. It cannot, you cannot replicate by using a single agent to all the publishers. Yeah. Okay. Let me just delete this publisher because every time now if I will make a request, it will go to this publisher as well and it will create a burden of this server. Yeah. Let me just delete this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So with this diagram, we understood how we will replicate the content. Okay. Content will be created on author and then it will be replicated to the publisher. Now let's discuss a bit about the code base, of how you will create the code base and how you will deploy it on your instances. Code base is something that is not replicated but is separately deployed on your author and all the publishers. So if you have one author and if you have 3 publishers, then of course the code should be separately deployed on all the 4 instances. That is, 1 author and 3 publisher. Okay. Yeah. So in case if you have some tool like Jenkins who automatically deploys the code on all your publishers and all your authors, that is very good. But in case if you do not have it, like we are running, and in our case we just have single publisher, but in case if we have multiple publishers, then I have to deploy the code individually on all the publisher as well as on author instances. Okay. Okay. Any questions, any queries till now?
Just one thing I remember from last session. Can you go back to your diagram, please?
Sorry, can I go back to?
To the diagram that you just drew for the dispatcher. Yeah. So for dispatcher, can we have it for author as well? I mean, like, it's possible, right?
Yes, so we can have, like here the requests will be coming from from our author or from CM team people, like here.
So and it will sit behind the author instead. Okay.
The author is something that is not accessible to the end user. Like if consider you are working with a company which uses AEM. So I as an end user cannot access the author instance. I can only access the end website. Author can sit behind the firewall, but 99% of the companies do not have author in front of, oh, sorry, dispatcher in front of their author. Because see, how many people will be there who will be using the author instance?
Yeah.
You or maybe your team of 10 people who are developers, they may be logging in. Plus the CM, the content management, the author guys, they will be logging. So maximum to maximum 100
Yeah.
people. That is of course not a huge number. On our website, it will be thousands of requests that will be coming. So that is why for that we need a dispatcher so that a caching can be done. Some load balancing can be done. Of course, here, why would you need a dispatcher? Why would you need to create a separate server? Its maintenance, the server cost, everything will be involved. So why would you need it? But
Uh,
yes, it's feasible.
so without dispatcher, can we still caching like responses, like JSON responses?
See, on server level, like on author, on publisher, they maintain their internal cache. They do it, but there's nothing like that you can control that cache or you can configure that cache or at instance level. There's nothing like this. At dispatcher level, we can configure our files of where we can define that okay, these files should be cached, these files should not be cached. That you can do. But
Yeah.
on author, it's like they maintain their own cache, but it's not that it can be configured or it can be configured by the end user. Is there any configurable available? That is all black box for us of how they do a caching or what all caching they do. That is all black box. So I will give you a brief idea about that later. But as of now, just understand that there is no configuration or nothing configurable of how and what all cache can be do or how we will clear the cache. It's nothing at instance level. There's nothing like that.
So it's like handled by AEM instances. It's not something that
End
we
user or yeah,
we
we
as
can
a developer can,
no. Yeah,
because
exactly.
for us, like that we have like lots of responses, and then these responses, whenever we publish the new content, and that API will not show the updated content, and then every time, like myself, I have to go and clear cache for that particular uh, response.
That will be for publisher instance.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
So
oh,
on,
so that's for the publisher. Oh, okay.
okay, means on publisher instance, you would have to you may be cleaning the cache of dispatcher, is it?
Yeah, for a staging, yeah, a staging publisher, for example. Yeah.
Uh, uh. So it means that there is some configurable configuration issue at your dispatcher level where with every activation, it is not cleaning the JSON files.
Okay.
So there is some issue at this level, dispatcher.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay.
when we will go to and briefly discuss about the dispatcher, then maybe we can take up that thing.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Okay, no worries. Where was I?
You were telling that code needs to be deployed then.
Yes, the codes need to be deployed separately on all the author and publisher. Now, let's start our understanding of how will you create a new code base in for AEM and how will you build that code base and how will you deploy that code base. Okay. So your company must be having some code base on which they may be running. But in case if you get an opportunity to create a new code base, so how will you do that? So for that, see, AEM, of course, we need Java to run AEM. So one is Java, you need Java, and the other is Maven. So Maven is being used, which will act as our build plus deploy tool. Okay, so Maven is build plus deployment tool. So through this, you will build your code base and deploy your code base. But before building, we need a code base. So Maven again also helps to create code base. So this is also the through this Maven only we can create a code base as well. Okay, so that's our beauty. But how Maven will be able to help us create a code base of that is compatible with AEM? How is that possible with Maven? Because Maven is totally an independent entity, and AEM is Adobe's product. But Maven or AEM, they have internally worked and they have created a command which, like I am having over here, which is called as Maven archetype command. Okay, so they have created a Maven archetype command through which, by just executing this command, you will have your dummy code base created. Okay, so these Maven archetype command, they have they keep on bringing Maven and AEM, they keep on bringing new features within this Maven archetype command. So this Maven archetype command has multiple versions. Like I am using the version 23, but of course now also they are maybe like 28 is the latest one or something like that. But yes, like they may be doing they are doing some improvement, some enhancement in their command, so that the code base, a dummy code base that gets created, it should be more compatible or more have more features. Okay. But for our training purpose, we are using the 23 one. That will work all that will work well with like 6.5 and Adobe as a cloud as well. Adobe cloud as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, so here you do not need to understand each and everything in this. It's just that we are saying that the version of this is 23 and AEM version is 6.5.0, and here I gave a title to my code base, that is, or my project or my AEM code base. I gave the name as sample project and app ID, and these all like this group ID is the package name. Like inside the core folder, there will be a Java package that will get created. So I gave a name as com.sample. I use this Maven archetype command. You can get it on internet. You just search, and also I will provide you in the chat as well. Okay. What I'm going to do is I will go to a folder where I have to create my code base. So here I created my instances, and here what I did is I have a separate folder with the name code. And here I have my code base folder. Let me just create any dummy folder you can create, and there you can create your code base. So here, let me open git bash. You can use command prompt or git bash, anything you like. That is up to you. Okay, and here I will just write this command, and you will see in a minute that your code base will be, let me just close this. I think let's close this. Let me open the command prompt over here. Yeah. Okay, let me use the command prompt. And let me insert this command. Here you see, as of now, there is one folder with the name team. Let me hit this command, and what we expect is that there should be a code base with the name sample that should get created by using this Maven archetype command. Yeah. Okay. And it will internally do some processing, and it will create a whole code base for us. Pretty simple.
Like the structure of the project itself, right? Like core and then UI app, UI content,
Yes.
something like this, right?
Yes,
So
exactly.
Maven is taking care of this structure.
Exactly. Maven, with collaboration with AEM, they have created this Maven archetype command, and they will take care of creation of the structure and will do all. So, okay, so the build is failed, but we do not have to worry, because somewhere while creating some dispatcher, see, it created our code base, CAEM code base sample, it has created, but somewhere in the dispatcher, some issue occurred. It's okay. We do not, some privileges issue occurred. That is okay, because we do not even need to use this dispatcher code, because we do not have the dispatcher set up with. So here you will see the sample project or the sample code base folder is created, and if you will go, you can see all is there. core is there, the dispatcher is there, this IT test, this UI apps, UI content, UI front end, everything is there. I will tell you the purpose of these, each and every module, but yeah, you can see all these are automatically created. Even if I go inside the code, you can see inside the SRC, you have main and Java, COM, sample, all these are created. Plus, they also provide you with some basic, like basic Java file, so that you can take a reference. So basic files or basic code through which you can take the reference. Okay. So here we have the base sample project created. We have our parent POM, that is the Maven POM, and I hope how good are you with Maven? Like, do you have the basic understanding of Maven or what?
Uh, yeah, I know like dependencies and like how it works. Like for example, if you want to work with any library or something, you need to define the dependency, so it will
Exactly.
be downloaded, and then you can import that package. This sort of thing.
Exactly. So dependency is of course something you need to know as an AEM developer, because by the time you need to enhance or bring some new features or make the use of some third-party APIs or third-party libraries in your code base, you
Yeah.
have to use the dependency, so that in dependency you will mention that okay, this is the API or this is the library that I wanted to use. So you will mention it in the dependency, and when then you will run your again your Maven command, you
Hmm.
need to make sure that you are connected to internet, because it will read that dependency and it will download it from internet
Yeah.
to your
Yeah.
local repository.
True. True.
Okay.
Yes.
So if I open this form, the parent form, it will tell you the things about all your child modules. So here we have all our child modules or sub modules, and here you can see it gives us that okay, these are all the child modules that it will build.
Hmm.
We know the dispatcher module is something we do not have to use, so I'm commenting this. These are of not use for us. Okay. And also this UI front-end module is also not used for us, because we are not going to work on any Angular or React thing or any front-end framework is something we are not going to use. For any front-end code or any major front-end code, like if you are like not working with simple jQuery, but you are using some front-end like technology, then you have to use, then you have to make the use, or you have to write it inside the UI front end, because here all the like npm dependencies, all those things are being defined over here inside the UI front end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we have, let me just briefly tell you, core is where all the Java, all the backend Java files are being created inside the core. Then we have our UI apps, all the components, every component templates, static templates are being created over here. UI apps. Then we have the UI app structure. This is an empty module. If even if I go over here, it's an empty. It just contains a pom.xml. So here, if I go pom, and inside the src main, yeah, you can see it's empty. There's nothing in this. So
Yeah.
it's just the parent, it's just the POM, and this POM actually tells us or will give an indication to AEM about the structure of your apps folder in CRXT. So what all will be there inside the apps folder? It will give a basic structural idea of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we have the UI content, any content related thing, like anything that you wanted, any dummy pages that you wanted, like inside the content hierarchy, or any dam that you wanted to check it out. However, it is not recommended, but in case sometimes, see, of course, the content that you create, you do not check in that content. So this content that you created are always created on the author, and then are replicated. Now, consider a scenario where your whole author and all the publisher are like corrupted. So somewhere that content will, so that if those are corrupted, then of course all the content that is there will be lost, will be completely lost. Because content is something that is not checked in. Okay. So what AEM says is that you time to time keep on taking the backup of your content. Okay. But yeah, so you were saying something?
No, the content, actually it's the whole website, right?
Yes, for the
Yeah,
whole website.
the whole
Yeah.
website. Yeah, yeah, okay. Got it. Yeah.
So what AEM says is that you on daily basis you should keep on taking the backup of your content. Uh, because content is something that is a part of your instance, that is a part of your server only. Okay.
Yeah.
But sometimes just some dummy pages or sometimes some dummy pages we also check in our content as well, because
Like a test pages or something like that, right?
like some test pages or some home pages. Because why do we do that is when you will when sometime a requirement comes that you have to create a new server where you just have to test some dummy thing. In that case, you will deploy this code and you will get that test page or that home page automatically as part of code base, and you do not have to package it and then again deploy it in that new server for the new instance. Okay, so some dummy pages or some test pages is what you can also have it as part of your code base, and that you will place it inside the UI content. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like I was telling that when we are packaging like the content, like say from staging to production, so we won't package those dummy data. When we package, there's a filter thing, right? So we won't choose them. This is
Uh, we don't like we package. See, we package the dummy content most of the time. Like some test pages is what we pack. We package and we place it as part of our content, as part of our code base. Is that what you wanted to ask?
yeah, I think like yeah, I just wanted to on top of your what you said, I wanted to tell this one. I mean, it's okay. Yeah, I got it.
Means maybe I haven't got your question. But just let me rephrase that. You mean that the content that we package, which
Yeah,
all type of content is that what you mean?
like we can choose, right? Which content we want to package.
Exactly, that we can
Yeah,
do. I will tell you also. I will tell
yeah,
you also which
yeah,
all content we want to package. That I will tell you how you can package it. So what is the
yeah.
way you package the content? I will tell you that.
Okay, got it.
So there is a package manager screen through which you can package the content.
Yeah, got it.
Okay. So yeah.
Yes.
So we have our all these folders, like these are the IT tests where you can write the front end test cases. All the backend JUnit has to be written inside the core. And this all is nothing but once you compile all your code base, that compiled form of code actually is a zip file. So that zip file gets stored inside the app, inside the all folder, and then from the all folder, that zip file gets deployed on our into our AEM. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So now we have all this code base. We commented this. We commented this because these were not required. We commented this UI front end as well.
Yeah.
And one more thing. Yeah. Yeah, please.
No, no, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Should I go ahead?
Yes, yes, go ahead.
Okay. And inside the UI apps, if I go to the form, here, see, I have been using it I this from long, so I know that inside the UI apps form, there is a dependency for UI frontend. Okay. So this is also something I have to comment, because since we are commenting the whole UI frontend module, so of course its dependency also is something we have to comment on.
Yeah.
Okay. So we did this. We commented the UI frontend and all these, and now we are good to compile our code base. So how we will do that is, yeah. So here we have, let me just clear it, and then I go inside the code base. What was the name? It was sample. Okay. And now we have this sample. Now we have to build this code base, and then we have to deploy this code base. So it's a two-step process. Firstly, build the code base, and the build form of the code base will be zip, and that zip will be stored inside the all folder. So here, within here, there will be, when I will build the code base, it will create a target folder, and within the target folder, a zip will get created. That zip will have our build code base. Then the second step will come into action, that is deploy. Once our build is completed, which will create the zip, and then the deploy will come into action, that will deploy our code base into AEM instance. Okay.
Yes.
So we will use the command maven clean install. Maven is to tell that okay, the we will be using Maven as a tool to build. Then firstly we write clean. Clean, what clean does is it clean the previously built code base. So if there's already any zip file available or any target folder already available, so it will clear that. So firstly clear, and then it will create a new build from scratch. Okay, so if I write maven clean install, and if I just hit this, it will take some time because we are executing it for the first time. So it will take some time where it will download the dependencies, and it will build the whole code base, and at the end you will see that there will be target folder that will be created over here. And like everywhere, even inside the core also there will be a target. Even inside the UI apps also there will be a target that will get created, because ultimately every sub-module, every of these module will have a compiled code that will be inside that target folder, and all that compiled code will ultimately get merged or compiled into a single zip that will be stored below the all folder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it will take some time, because since it is running for the first time, it will take its own sweet time. Till then, if you have some questions, you can ask me.
Yeah. Just one question, like, sorry, I'm asking like, by case, because I face these challenges, like that's why I'm asking like.
No worries.
Okay, whenever like there is a new feature that it needs to go live, so what I do, it's like I do the same thing that you were just doing. Like I package the thing. I mean, I run that command like maven clean install. Then there is like dash p auto install.
Yes, package.
Yeah, that's it. So so this part I'm not sure why. Like my colleague, when he was like telling me to do these things before,
I will tell you.
yeah, he told me like to install the UI apps only.
Okay. Okay.
And
So
yeah, so I just wanted to know like why only UI apps?
Okay. So maybe your changes would be there, or the fix that you would have done would be there inside the UI apps only. Maybe. I'm just assuming it. But what happens is, see, here the target folder has been created.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's successful. Let me just tell you about these things, and then I
Yeah.
will tell you answer your question. So here we
Yeah.
have the target folder created, and here we have the this one as well. And also, if I go inside the code, here also I will have the target folder, and here we have our bundle created. So
Yeah.
we don't call it jar, we call it as bundle. I will tell you the difference between a jar and a bundle. In AEM, we do not call it as jars, we call it as bundles. Similarly, if I go inside the UI apps, here also the target folder is there, and this is something that your colleague may have been asking you to install. Is it?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So I will tell you why so. So see, ultimately, all the modules will have the target folder created and they will have their own compiled code. And ultimately, all this compiled code will get merged into a single zip, which will be there inside the all folder. All folder this. So this is the collection of all the compiled code. Okay, somewhere over here you will have all the things.
Yeah.
Okay, now okay, first thing to answer is you said Maven clean install minus P auto install that thing. What is that minus P over here? Okay. So to answer your this question is as of now, what we did is we used Maven clean install. What it was doing is it was only doing the first step, which was building your code base.
Yeah.
Okay. But the second step is still to be done.
Yeah.
That is deploying your code base. So build is done, but you have to deploy it. So how will you deploy it? That is why we use the second step, that is minus P. And what was the name? To get the correct name, what you can do is you can go inside the all folder, inside the POM, and here you have that minus P thing. Let me just see if it is, yeah, minus P thing. So this minus P is called as profile, which actually tells how would you deploy the code, how you will deploy the build code into AEM. You have built the code, but how will you deploy is by using a profile. So minus P actually tells the profile over here. So here you can see we have the profile section, and within the profile we have this auto install single package. So this is the profile that we will use. So we will say minus P and auto. I don't know if it's a capital P or small p.
I think it's capital. Yeah.
Yeah, capital. Yeah, capital. And then I will use the profile name. So this is called as profile. And the profiles are defined inside the all folder pom.xml. Here we have the files. And now I will just enter this, and what it will do is, as of now, if I go to my this localhost 4502, you can see it does not have any sample folder. So you can
Yeah.
see the code is still not defined. But by using this, our code is getting built, compiled, and it will deploy the code inside our AEM. Okay. Now, your friend must be saying that you should use that zip inside the UI apps, and you should go inside this one screen, package
Yeah.
manager. Yeah.
Yeah. True.
And then what you do is you can install or upload over here, like upload package, and then you can select that zip of your UI apps, like the
Yes.
UI apps was created
But
where
then, like my changes mostly it's in core thing. I mean, yeah, we do have like new components on the UI apps and all those things, like those things. But then, like my changes are mostly like inside like servlets and all those things. That's why I'm just wondering.
yeah. So see, in case if your changes are there inside the code that is inside your servlet Java file, so there is no purpose or there is no purpose of installing it through the package manager. So package manager has a different purpose, but in case if you have to install, if you do not see, I ran this command, it will again build the code and it will deploy the code. But consider if you only want to make the changes inside, if you are making the change inside the code, I will tell you. Let's complete this build and then I will tell you the solution for that.
Yeah, sure.
So let's just wait for this build to complete, and you will see in a minute that all your packages will also get deployed.
Mhm. Like I know that also that like for the first time we do like package, and then if we only change like we don't want to install whole the package every time, so we use like bundle, right?
So you use like what?
Bundle like p auto install bundle instead of p auto install package.
Okay, okay, yeah, that is, yeah, exactly. You are absolutely right. You can use -p auto install bundle. I will tell you another way of that. So here you can see the sample package is now over here.
Yeah.
All your code is now over here. And also here, if you will refresh it, you will see all your sample bundles over here as well in the package manager. Let's, okay, let me just close the tabs to the right. A bit of time. Pretty slow.
Yeah.
Okay, let's discuss on that
Yeah.
parallelly. So see, in case if your changes are there only inside the code, then what you can do is you can go inside the code, like over here inside the sample, you can go inside the code,
Yeah.
and here you can write the same command, and the profile that is -p that you are going to use, you can also find it inside the form of code. So if I go inside the form of code and just search for the profiles,
Mhm.
not there. Let me just get it from the parent form only. Auto install bundle. Where is that?
It's I think p auto install bundle. Yeah.
Yes, I'm just checking where exactly is that. Just a minute, I'm finding that. Okay, I think it would be there inside the UI apps. Yeah, let me just. Uh, where is the profile for that? Let me just. Okay, install. This is a code. Do we have it over here? Just search here. So here we have some profiles.
Oh, yeah. You just passed it.
Okay, yeah, auto install bundle. Okay, in the parent form. So what you can do is you can go inside directly inside the core, and then you can write this command. So that way, instead of building the whole code base, it will only build your core and it will deploy the core only. Like Maven clean hyphen c auto install bundle.
Yeah.
So this way, what it will do is it will only compile the code and it will deploy it deploy your
Mhm.
bundle only. So it will do like it will shorten your time.
Yeah.
And also, man, what happened to this? Okay. Also, there is another way where you can duplicate this, and there is another screen that is system. I don't know if you're aware of this. Are you aware of the system console screen?
Yeah. Somehow.
Okay.
Not so much. Yeah.
So here, yeah, okay, no worries. So inside the system console, we have the bundles. Like it will automatically take you to the bundles, or in case if you want, then OSGI bundles.
Mhm.
Here also, what you can do is here also it lists all your bundles,
Mhm.
like all the bundles out of box or your company, all those bundles are listed. And also you can click on this installer update and you can choose a file and your bundle will be, you can select the file and like whatever file it was, like it was in the C drive, so AEM, and then your code and your code base, your team, sorry, not team, but sample, and then it will be inside the core and target, and here you can select this. Okay, you can
Mhm.
select open, but it's already there for us, so we do not need this. This is another way where you do not need to, like, of course, you need to build your code, but you do not need to use -p auto install bundle because that part you are doing manually instead of using the command.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Maven clean install is building your code base, and then this profile is deploying your code base.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a two-way step. Also, what's good? Just let me just refresh this. Yeah. Okay, and here you should also be able to find your sample. Here you can see the
Mhm.
sample project code. Your bundle is also there. And you need to make sure it should be in active state.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All your bundles should be in active state. All the necessary bundles should be in active state. In case if they are not in active state and are in any other state, then it means there is some issue with that bundle, with the code of that bundle.
Mhm.
I'm saying it bundle all the time. It is actually, if you see, it is jar, because even if I go over here, you can see inside the target it's a jar, but we call it as bundle. Here also you can see it's an executable jar file, but why I'm saying it bundle again and again, that I will tell you in the next session.
Okay.
Okay, so today
Yeah.
if you see, like if you see over here, we have been able to successfully create our code base. Sorry, we have been able to create our code base and also deploy our code base. So here we have deployed our code base.
Yeah.
Okay, so either you can individually build and deploy your code base by going inside like core, and similarly you can go inside the UI apps and there you can use the specific profile for it. Like here it is the auto install bundle, and there should be a profile for auto install package. So see, this auto install package, what initially we used was the auto install single package. So that will create the package all all of the modules.
All the
But if you
modules like core, UI apps, content, everything.
exactly, but in case only if you wanted to build UI apps, then you can use this profile. not install package.
So can you go to the CRXD? So everything will be under apps, right? That's why.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I
Like the
will tell
code
you
base.
later. Yeah, in the next session, I will tell you the purpose of each of these folders. But yes, apps is where we as a developer works. All the development, custom development by AEM or by AEM dev will be done inside the apps. Like you as a developer will create your components, you will deploy your code inside the apps. We have the libs folder. Libs folder is something where the development or code base of Adobe is stored. All the code of Adobe is being stored inside the libs folder. Home folder is where the users and the groups are being stored. Any new user that you created, we will discuss in the next session how we will create groups and users.
Yeah.
But every group and user are being stored inside the home folder. ETC is miscellaneous misc-admin. We just discussed. It contains like the replication and other things. Most of the Adobe code is also stored inside the ETC folder. Okay, we have the content folder where all our pages, all our digital assets, DAM. We will discuss about the DAM. Yeah, our experience fragments, all those things, all our forms, adaptive forms are being stored inside the content directory. So content is something that, of course, we will change through the UI. Like here, we will go to the sites and there we will update the content.
Yeah.
Conf is the place where you will create the configuration, and also editable templates are being stored below the conf hierarchy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So now I know that that's why he only asked me to get the UI apps on that. Because even though I Maven Clean installed the core bundle only, but then that core bundle is under the apps bundle, right?
Yes.
So that's why it's okay. So that's why every time I use the apps bundle for the deployment. Okay.